Puck 8. The intention is, I haven't fully designed it, so the intention is for it to be looking like roses. So we're going to start with our leaves, which are be in the corners of our block. So we've got these 1 5/8 of an inch squares, and we're just going to go from corner to corner and mark just a single line. Sorry, I have a very opinionated girl in the background there. She's not sneezing, she's telling me she wants my attention. They don't have to be perfect. I'll finish them up, you know, as I go along. But that's kind of what we want. And like I said, I find some reason going point to point so hard. I have not found a method that I actually like as of yet. Here is the green for our leaves, and we're just going to put these point to point, like corner to corner, kitty corner to kitty corner, like that. Here we go. Let's trim these down. Just make sure we've got a little 1/4 inch on either side. And it looks like I only have 3, but I actually do have 4. It's just, it's in the sewing machine. I haven't trimmed it down. Let's do our pressing. And I'm just going to press open like this. So I can tell right away I'm short. I don't know how I manage that, but I always manage to be short on these sides. So when I go to piece that, I'm just going to make note. Sewed a little crooked, but that's okay. Sometimes quilts aren't always meant to be perfect. So there's our leaves. They're going to go on our corners. We're just going to pretend number 4 is there. And our other pieces here will go like that. So this is basically the frame. And then inside, we've got this one other piece, which isn't the same, but that's not going to matter because that's pretty much going to get covered up. So let's just put this together. So we'll do our one side here, our one side here, and then our center one. And we'll just sew those with our scant 1/4 inch. And yeah, we'll just watch as we go. I'm not going to press open yet because I haven't decided which way. Well, actually, no. These ones I have decided. Press always to the side that's easiest. Like that. We're going to press that. And same way here. and go on to the next go around. So these ones are going to the inside. So this center one, we want them going, the fold to go to the outside so that they can butt up against one another. So that way when we go to do these two seams, or this seam, well, both seams, they'll butt up nicely and fit together really, really nice. Now, I tend to pin. Not everybody pins, but I do. I pin and then I watch with my stitch ripper. I've just gotten used to stitch ripper. Some people use the purple thing. I prefer the stitch ripper. Here we have the templates. We've got our two circles for our outside row of petals and our inside row of petals and our center. Here are our petals. I will have given you enough to do 16 petals in total. I have calculated for 8 on the outside. I don't know, maybe not enough. I thought 8 on the outside, but maybe I meant 16. You'll have enough for the petals. See, I'm still designing as we go. So to figure out our centers, I've just gone and folded the outer circle in half, and that's where I've cut out part of the inner circle there. So at least now it'll be the same throughout. So to figure this out, how to place this on here, we're not going to use a very technical, fanciful term. We're just going to do the fold in halves. And do not need to be perfect. This actually was designed to be more imperfect than perfect. Grab my blue marking pencil. So I'm just going to line those guys up. And I'll be fairly centered for both my inside and outsides. So I'm going to go mark those guys. This will all be covered up after, so don't worry about it too much. So, oh, I missed a part there. My marker's getting old, so I do believe it is time for a new one. But we don't need it super dark, we just need it there so that we can see it. Enough to place it. So now let's go on to tracing our petals. Pick whichever way you want to do your petals again. You don't have to worry about which way you do it, if you do it on the front or the back. Go ahead and applique them whatever method you want. If you want to do just raw edge applique, if you want to do fold over, we know me, I like my hand applique. Hand applique it is for me. Once again, we don't need to be perfect. So here we go. I'm going to go with my green chalk pencil and mark those. It's not showing up great. You know what? I'm going to go open one of my new blue ones and I'll be back. New marker. Let's see how it goes. Much nicer. Much more visible. Now I want to leave at least ½ inch between those two, so I've got enough for my fold over. And you are going to do 8 of each color. I've given you 4 colors, so 8 of each will give you more than enough for what you're going to need. I'm just going to finish marking those. I've gone and done the arranging on my little rose here, and it looks very good. I've chosen to do the outside darker, and the inside I'm going to use these lovely little petals, but I'll do more on that later. So I found I wanted a little more space in here, so I'll take this one out. You can see that I've actually gone and put them about 1/4 inch more than what the bottom of our template shows. So we're down a little more. The petals are a little smaller. If you want, you can cut less fabric, or you can do what I did. I went and the gingham I put on point because I didn't want it too directional, because we've got our linear fabric here, and I didn't want the linear fabric at an angle because that wouldn't work. It worked for the rose tulip block, but it's not going to work for this block. So I've gone and I've applicated. I've gone with just overlapping one on top of the other. Doesn't mean you have to. It's your block. You do not have to do the same style as I can. You can do your petals however you want. If you'd like to have 1, 2, and then 3 here, you go right ahead and do that. You get to put the petals as however you would like. You do have extras. I've put 16 on the outside, and I will put 13 on the inside. You've got 32 in total, so you decide how you'd like to do your petals. Do not have to do it the same way I do. I do believe in an actual live rose, you would have the darker petals on the inside and the lighter ones on the outside. I've chosen to do it opposite. So I'm just going to pin that back. So I've started appliquing, and when I go to put these ones in, I am just going to do them like this, and I am going to stagger them. I'm not going to do them the same, so I'll probably just stagger them like this. There's no set way of doing it. Just do what works for you. You might even be able to do less. So just, you know, do what you enjoy. And then on the center, we've got brown. And I will applique it like that. And I will show you what it looks like when it is all done. I've gone and spritzed the blue water soluble markings off. They all haven't come off, and that's okay. You can just spray those again. I've pressed it from the back, and this is what it looks like completed. And I think it's turned out very nice. It's very busy. I'm glad there's just one. It would be a lot of work to do a whole quilt like this. Maybe fewer petals. But there is block number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.